Welcome, everyone, to this guided meditation. This one's a very interesting one because we're going to be visiting this forest, and in this forest are these blue little creatures that kind of look like gremlins, and we're going to go visit them, and they're going to show us some things that they have in their tree. So I hope you're ready for this one. Please find a comfortable place to sit and lie down. Just get comfortable and just focus on your breathing, and we'll begin. So to start, we'll go ahead and go through our grounding and protection before we dive into our journey. So as you focus on your breathing, go ahead and just imagine roots growing out of your root chakra, growing down, branching off in different directions, down into the soil, maybe finding different rocks or water or even crystals down in the earth as they branch down. And then like a straw, drawing up the energy of the earth as you breathe in from those roots up to your root chakra, pulling that energy up your spine, up towards your heart chakra, allowing the energy to just store and grow and just expand that love throughout your body. And as you breathe out, pushing that energy back down into the earth, allowing it to be recycled, creating this circular pattern as you breathe in and out from the roots to your heart and down again. Maybe allowing those roots to expand with every breath, drawing up more energy into your body, filling you up more with this cleansing, fresh energy from the earth, allowing it to push in through your cells and pushing out stagnant energy from your body, allowing yourself to become connected with earth. Next, we'll go ahead and imagine a beam of white light coming from the stars, coming from the sky, falling down upon us, upon you, hitting your crown chakra, the top of your head. As it hits your crown chakra, it expands around you, creating a shield around you, a shield of protection, of this energy, dispersing out into maybe different colors or a single color or shape, protecting your body, protecting your spirit. This shield protect us from anything that want to come in and steal our energy or attach to us. The shield would expel any of that from happening. And then we'll go ahead and call forth our higher selves to come and protect us and to bring with them other beings of light and love that have been approved by our higher selves and have a high interest of love and protection for us to come and surround us as well, creating another barrier around us. As we stand there protected by these beings and protected by our shield of energy, connected to the universe and the sky and the earth and the ground, we'll go ahead and focus on our throat chakra, right there in the middle of our neck, and imagining a beam of light coming out of our throat chakra and expanding in front of us into this giant circular portal, swirling around like a whirlpool,
a whirlpool of energy in front of us. We can feel a faint, cool breeze coming from this portal as the energy blows out from it. And when the portal is big enough for us to step through, we'll go ahead and walk through that portal. And as we walk through, we find ourselves in this forest where the trees reach all the way up into the sky. They seem to be much larger than we're used to seeing. And as we look around, we find ourselves being no taller than the grass. And then zipping over out of the trees and out of the grass appears several little creatures with blue skin, long pointed ears, fuzzy little bodies covered in this blue fur, big eyes, almost look like a friendly gremlin. Or a Teletubby. And they come up to us, take us by the hands, and guide us through the grass towards the trees. Especially this one tree that's larger than the rest, which seems to have little holes cut out of the tree, like little windows of light pouring out. And at the base of the tree is this door, this little wooden door. If we were taller or larger, we wouldn't even have noticed it because it almost looks like it's part of the tree. We begin to realize that this forest is not any normal forest, and these beings are not any normal beings. That maybe they may be hidden in other circumstances from our eyes, from disbelief or ignorance. But nonetheless, we follow them into that tree. And inside this tree, it looks even much larger on the inside than it did on the outside, as we see little buildings carved out of the interior of the tree, like little houses, layered on top of each other with small little ladders or stairs going to the different buildings, like a skyscraper without any walls. An immense amount of activity going on. And the beings that have our hands keep pulling us through through this interior colony of these blue furry beings. And they bring us over to this open area which looks like a garden. And then they hand us these seeds that are about the size of our head and tell us to dig a hole and to bury these seeds in the ground. So we spend the next few moments digging these holes in this loose, rich, dark brown soil. And then when we're done putting down the earth over these seeds, we're given these buckets. These buckets of water to pour over the seeds. As we pour the water out, the light just seems to glisten through the water, making the water sparkle and glow almost like it's a rainbow. This water doesn't look familiar to us. It looks like it's more full of love and light. Some of it splashes on our face and we can't help but taste it. Taste it with our tongue, finding it as sweet as honey. And moments after pouring this water over the seed that we planted, something begins to grow rapidly out of the soil. This stem grows out and then leaves appear, quickly growing, maybe 3 times our height. And then all of a sudden at the top, at the end, a bud appears and quickly opens and expands, revealing a flower. And as that flower fully opens, it reveals a crystal in the middle of that flower. Then our little helpers come over with a tall ladder, tall enough to reach the flower of this plant we've grown, and hold it there for us, allowing us to climb up to this crystal, this gem. As we reach out to grab it, it almost seems to just fall right off into our hands. And in our hands it begins to glow, begins to sparkle. It's like this faint glowing, like blinking, like a pulsating light out of it. It seems to be activated by our touch. And then it shrinks down to the size of our palm, size of both of our palms together. And then we place this on our forehead, right over our third eye. It seems to sink in and embed into our skin. Then all of a sudden we're hit with this flash of information, this flash of knowledge, this flash of energy, expanding from this gem in our forehead into our consciousness. We sit there in shock as all this information just fills the inside of our brains. And we start to see pictures and visions of all these things. All beginning to download into our minds. Slowly, as the information begins to slow down, and we come back to the consciousness state of being here in this little glen or tree that we found ourselves in, begin to open our eyes again and realize that we're lying down in the soil as if we had fallen from the flower in that shock off the ladder. But nothing hurts. We're completely okay. And the little creatures that guide us here just seem to be just sitting there, patiently waiting for us to open our eyes, smiling at us. As we rub our eyes with our hands, it feels different. feels softer, feels fuzzy. And then looking upon our hands, we find ourselves having transformed into one of these little creatures. Noticing that we now are covered in this fuzzy blue fur, just like the rest of them. I feel a little bit more energized, a little bit more alive, just like they are. And everything here starts to make sense as we start to understand and hear when they talk. It's no longer these weird squeaking sounds of gibberish. It's more now a language that's familiar to us. Then as we sit up, our little friends look at us and then introduce themselves. And offer us some food. Unfamiliar to us, but also familiar and sweet smelling at the same time. Look like maybe little nuts or berries or other such oddities. And all of it tastes delicious as we sit there, feasting and swallowing all of it like we haven't eaten in days. And then they start to guide us more around this little colony, introducing to more and more of their brethren. And asking us if we have anything that we would like to know or questions for them about why we're here, what they do, maybe what they have to share. So we take some time exploring, talking. After exploring for a little bit, we find ourselves coming across what looks like a little library with little scrolls over many different shelves or little trinkets. And we walk through this library, this little information center of sorts. We walk through until we find something that draws our attention to the point where we can't stop but taking a look at it, exploring and investigating what we found. As we sit there looking at it, one of these little creatures, it seems to be the caretaker of this so-called library, comes over and tells us that we can keep it, we can take it with us. It now belongs to us. So we thank them for this gift. And it's about this time that the friends we made earlier come by, looking for us, seeking us out, and telling us that it's time to go. Time to go for now, but not forever. And they guide us back through the colony, climbing down ladders and stairs, all the way down to the base of the interior of this tree, past the little garden that we encountered early and gotten our gem from. And then they take us out of that door that we entered through. Back through the grass and the overgrowth on the ground of the forest. And eventually back to our portal, swirling in front of us. And before we go, they say, you can use that gem to come back here anytime. It's a little key back to this forest. Don't forget to come again. There's more for you here than you found today. After smiling in acknowledgement and thanking them, we find ourselves stepping back through the portal. Once again, standing in front of our bodies. We left sitting or lying down there. And we turn back to the portal. But before we close it, we make sure to draw all of our energy back with us through that portal, and removing any attachments to anything that we'd gained while we were there. And then when we're ready, we'll go ahead and close that portal. And then step back into our bodies once again, reconnecting with our consciousness back on Earth. Reconnecting with our physical forms, feeling the nerves in our body, maybe wiggling our toes or our fingers to just reacclimate with our bodies. Coming back to full awareness of the room that we are sitting or lying in. Feeling and hearing our breath once again. And when we're ready, opening our eyes. Coming fully back into this moment. From whence we left.